Imagine a world completely void of hunger, a world without predators, a place where the weather is always perfect and disease simply does not exist. Now, picture a box, a perfect metal cube designed to be paradise. In 1968, a researcher named John B. Calhoun decided to play God. He wanted to answer a terrifying question. What happens to a society when every single problem is solved? He built Universe 25. He selected 4 pairs of mice, the elite, healthy, strong. He released them into this Eden. Unlimited food, endless water, apartments for thousands. It was the ultimate biological dream. No struggle, no pain, just pure comfort. For the first 104 days, it was flawless. They ate, they slept, they multiplied. It looked like a miracle. But Calhoun wasn't watching a miracle. He was looking at a clock. He was watching a countdown. The population exploded. Every 55 days, the number of citizens doubled. 300 mice, 600 mice, 1,000 mice. The box was designed to hold thousands, but something strange began to happen. The physical space was not full, but the social space was overflowing. In nature, when a mouse grows up, it must leave the nest. It must face the cold. It must fight for territory. Struggle defines identity. But in Universe 25, there was nowhere to go. Young males couldn't leave. They couldn't find their own territory because everything was already claimed. They were trapped in a cage of comfort. The older generation didn't die. They stayed. They occupied the roles of power. The youth became lost. They gathered in the center of the pen, a huddled mass of rejected souls. They had food, they had water, but they had no purpose. And when a living thing loses its purpose, the system begins to glitch. Calhoun called it the behavioral sink. Civilization collapsed, not from scarcity, but from excess. The rejected males became hyper-aggressive. They attacked each other without reason, not for food, not for mates, just for violence. They would tear at each other's skin, leaving gaping wounds, but they would not run away. They stood there and let it happen. The females stopped being mothers. Overwhelmed by the crowds, they began to reject their young. They would attack their own babies. They would leave them to die on the metal floor. The nest, the safest place in nature, became a slaughterhouse. Cannibalism started. Even though there was infinite food in the hoppers, they chose to eat each other. The rules of biology were rewritten. The instinct to survive was replaced by the instinct to destroy. And then, amidst the blood and the chaos, a new ghost emerged. Calhoun noticed a group of males who withdrew completely. They didn't fight. They didn't compete for females. They didn't try to dominate. They retreated to the upper nesting boxes, alone. They spent their entire lives doing only 3 things: eating, sleeping, and grooming. Their fur was perfect. No scars, no wounds, no dirt. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones. They looked healthy on the outside, but inside, they were dead. They had no spirit, no drive, no aggression. They were hollow shells, purely consuming resources. Does this sound familiar? Look at our cities. Look at our screens. Men who have retreated from the world. Men who do not fight, who do not love, who do not build. Men who sit in safe rooms, grooming their avatars, feeding on digital content, while their spirit withers away. The beautiful ones were not survivors. They were the first signal of extinction. Eventually, the violence ended because reproduction stopped completely. The last mouse was born on day 600. After that, silence. Population crashed. But here is the most terrifying part. When the numbers dropped, when there was space again, when peace returned, the mice did not go back to normal. The beautiful ones could not become fathers. They had forgotten how. Their biology was intact, but their psychology was erased. They lived out the rest of their lives in a stupor until they died of old age. Calhoun wrote a chilling conclusion. The first death is the death of the spirit. The second death is the death of the body. Universe 25 ended with 0 survivors. Total extinction, caused not by a lack of resources, but by a lack of struggle. We are not mice, but we are building the same box. We strive for a life of pure comfort. We want to eliminate all pain, all risk, all conflict. We are creating a generation of beautiful ones, safe, clean, and utterly useless. Your brain needs problems to solve. Your soul needs a burden to carry. If you do not choose a struggle, the struggle will choose you, and it will manifest as anxiety, as depression, as madness. Do not fear the cold. Do not fear the conflict. Fear the cage that feels like a palace, because once the spirit dies, the body is just waiting to be buried. Subscribe and never let them take